All right. The house and the shingles for the house and that stuff was bought yesterday, the 7th. Well, the house wasn't bought, the house was swapped for other things. And the respective materials was done yesterday, the 7th. Today's the next day. It's been a day since I painted the house. Essentially, I want to say just 2 coats, but it might have been 3 on the house itself. And then essentially probably just like 1, but it might have been more than 3. Who knows? I did the 3 on the house. It's dried. It's dried pretty dark, respectively. So now I'm gonna go in with just the white, and I don't know that I'm gonna thin this or not. I might thin this initially. I might not. I might do a thin, like water thinned layer, and then go back with like the clumpy full acrylic layer afterwards. I don't know, but we've got white. We've got to make it last to paint the whole of the 4 panels. I'm not painting the top of this anymore because it's going to be shingled, and the idea was really just so that I don't have any undercolor. I do still have undercolor on the roof. I don't know if I'll be maybe using the remaining, once I'm finished roofing it, the remaining paper to go into the back. I might just end up painting it. I might end up leaving it. I don't know. My issue I'm worried with is here is right at the bottom. You can say I didn't even paint the full gray. I might just let it go white. I might end up not painting that and then going in with some type of like other paper to be like a flashing type. Yeah, I did also consider maybe getting like a something that looks like a copper to maybe do flashing around certain points. I do also want to do some type of. I need to figure out how I'm going to cover how I'm going to cover the LED pack once I have it affixed to the back, presumably with double-sided tape. So, yeah, this is me painting. Yeah. So first wash done. This is what it's looking like. I'm gonna try and use the rest of the. It's barely anything. It's pretty much thinly painted at this point. To go over before I let it sit and do the next coat. But yeah, I like how it's drying so far. You can see the texture I need. But I need it more white. It looks too much like a wash. I need it to look like a house, like a brick. It's coming out way too gray, so it's probably gonna be like maybe 2 washes more, or maybe another wash in the paint.
You're gonna have to go back in.
Yeah,
Like some
yeah,
grays for depth.
right. I might have to, even if I have to go back in and just trace over the brick with like a pencil, maybe. But yeah, so Okay. Right now, it's drying very gray, and I don't think it's because anything's mixing. I think that really is just because of the undertone. So I'm gonna let it dry. It shouldn't take too long to dry, especially since it's thinned out. I'm gonna let it dry. I'm gonna come back with some white paint. Okay, so this is how it's dried out. This is like, at least I'd say 2 hours ago, because I've been cooking a pot pie for, I want to say, like at least an hour. It feels like it's been 2 hours ago. Anyway, my mother did actually find this brush that I'm gonna use preferentially. I think I'll have more swath for the larger sides, right? So I'm gonna do a second coat, and it's still gonna be another thinned coat. But yeah, let's get to it. Got some water. Let's dribble the paint. I don't think the paint tray can be seen. I'm just gonna lift it up here in case it can't be seen. Okay. That might have been too much paint, but we're gonna work with it. We're gonna work with it. I think I'm gonna have to mix it with the thinner brush. Actually, I think I put more water on. Ooh. So we want it thin, but not so thin for the second one, because I want it to start showing white and not just like letting the grayish undertone show through. So let's get to it. I'm gonna let it dry with the second paint, but you can see it's a lot whiter than it was before. I think maybe a third coat, possibly a fourth, and I think I'd be done. So yeah, got a lozenge. We're gonna do another one, another coat. It's dried now. It's looking quite nice. I didn't by accident put some on this, but I'm not worried about this because, again, this is not meant to just stay painted. This is gonna be shingled with the paper, contact paper. This is just for like an under, so it's not just bare wood underneath, in case, what some of it happens to stick up, you see, it looks like roofing material, whatever. Also, the part up here when I was painting this, glue. It's not taking any color. So initially, or earlier today, I was told that there was a Sharpie found. Turns out the Sharpie was dry. I was going to go over the lines lightly again so that the shadowing stays through. I think right now what I'm gonna do is probably do maybe 2 more coats, because it's looking very white, it is, but you can see, especially to my naked eye, you can see that it, the wood tone seems to still peek through, even though it's colored with the brown underneath. I still want it to look white, so we're gonna do that now. Once more, we go with the paint. Still have some reserved water. I don't know if I'm gonna put water at this point. I think I kind of have to, otherwise it's gonna be like a lot of paint I'm gonna use. I'm not trying to have it be like super stiff. I like to let the wood breathe. So I think just a couple of drops, not so much. A bit thicker than before. That gives you more coverage, I guess. No paint. Do I have to add more? We're not gonna add more. We're gonna work with what we have. Also, it is a sponge brush, so let's see how it's looking. Let's try on this side. I have to put more water. It's not spraying enough. Damn. Okay, but you see the coverage there? Okay. It should dry pretty opaquely there. I think I'm gonna, maybe this can be my last coat. It is a DIY thing, of course. Also, it's not like the window frames are perfectly straight. So I can accept a little bit of peek through. I'm probably going to have to use more paint though, because that's almost all the paint there that I just dropped. I dropped quite an amount. I can't necessarily get there with the sponge brush, but we're going back in with the painting brush. Okay, so that's the opaque, and you can see through. Hopefully, again, it dries more opaque than what it looks like now, but. Oh! Okay, so I'm gonna just get this corner here. Okay, so we've got this level, which is the dried portion. We've got this fresh paint, so I'm gonna continue on, probably working back. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so I actually, besides the 2 squeezes I did initially, didn't end up using another squeeze. I guess maybe the sponge was squeezing out a lot as I pushed over. So, it's, still drying thin, but I think it's getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I accept this. I accept this because the main thing is going to be, the house is going to be white. We're going to know this. It's going to have shingles, and then it's going to, outside the lights, if I do a little scenescape, it's still not going to be so much that it needs to be, stark new sheet of paper white. So I think this is probably good for now once it dries. Obviously, I've painted over some of the windows. I'm okay with that. Either I will go back and, probably I will go back and trim the windows up. I also don't have this trimmed. I don't think I'm going to put this in white. I think I'm just going to leave this dark color up here. Yeah. I'm not super crazy about getting it super even because, maybe the front, the top I should. Looking back on that now. And I guess with the little stippling of the sponge brush, maybe give it texture in the back. I don't mind the back because it's the back of the house, right? There's no windows back here. Also, this is where the lighting pack is going to go. The battery pack for the lights are going to go. So in terms of getting this super smooth or even, a significant portion of this is going to be covered by the lighting pack and whatever I decide to do to cover it exterior wise. So I think, this is the side we're mostly going to see. If anything, I might go back up later on and paint it. What my sister suggested was maybe I go back and instead of just doing as I'm doing now, which is just painting all the things white, I paint the specific faces of each individual brick, or maybe a couple of bricks here and there so they pop out a bit more, for that illusion of depth. Maybe I might go back even with some type of marker or Sharpie to, again, go over the lines lightly, maybe like a brown or whatever to highlight the individual bricks. But this is still drying and you can still see the bricks, but it's not so much, it's gray underneath, right? So anyway, I think that's it for today. Hopefully tomorrow I can do the, this would be, the whole thing is these come with the rope and they're hanging birdhouses, but they're realistically not really big for any bird to get through. So I think maybe even my sister has already agreed to this, my other sister. So all 3 of us, the whole thing is when we're all in the same place, once and for all, we're going to do annual little house decorating. So this makes, I think, like a good, if you have a big enough tree, this in itself is a nice ornament, right? So, all right, thanks for watching today. I think that's it. So I'll just hold this here for a couple seconds so I can put the Let me put it under so I can put the videos at the end, right?